and good day to you. Today we're going to be doing the SmyrnaCross. This is a very common stitch. It can be used in many variations. It is the combination of a standard cross stitch and an upright cross stitch. And you just layer them both on top of each other. You can do it with different size. You can do it in different sizes. You can do it with different threads. I'm going to actually make this one just a little bit bigger than I normally would, just so that it's easier for you to see. So you can do standard cross stitch just like that. And then you're going to do an upright cross right on top of it, just like this. You can do this with two different threads. You can do it with variegated, over dies, pretty much anything. This can be done when it's done very little, when it's done over just over two threads. It gives you a great full coverage background with lots of texture, because it creates a very bumpy sort of texture. But because it has threads going in all of the directions, it works up nicely in rows or just to give you some multi-directional coverage. You do want to make sure that the top stitch, the very last stitch that you do, is always in the same direction. With any stitch that has multiple layers, you want to always try to work the stitch in the same direction, in the same order that you do on all of them, because it does change the way the stitch comes out looking. But at the top stitch, you always want to make sure that is always going in the same direction each time, or else it's very noticeable and it looks a little bit weird. This can be done, you can do the two different threads. You can do them staggered. You can line these up in rows, or you can stagger them like a brick stitch sort of thing. So if you wanted to stagger, let's say, the next one for some reason, or at least I'll show you how it looks. 4, okay. You could stagger it like this, so that you had some variation. It didn't look quite so much like rows. And you're going to go back and do this upper part, right? And make sure, again, your top stitch is going in the same direction. Unless you're doing this in alternatings like a checkerboard, then you could switch it that way. So to complete the look of this particular stagger, if you were, let's pretend we're on the next row already and we were going to be up here, you'd go right here and do this one so that you had a nice staggered SmyrnaCross, just like that. Okay, so that is the SmyrnaCross. There you go. Happy stitching.